Today, we're diving into one of the most important skills a firefighter can have: reading smoke. When you pull up on scene at a structure fire, those smoke conditions you see in the first few seconds, and how they change over time, can tell you almost everything you need to know about the fire. Its location, the type of materials burning, the fire load, and even where that fire is heading next. 043. But before we break down the art of reading smoke, we need to understand what smoke actually is. Smoke is the byproduct of combustion. It's not the target, it's the clue. Inside that dark cloud are toxic gases, incomplete particles of fuel, and chemicals that can do serious damage to us. It's messy, it's dangerous, and it's also a key to unlocking the fire's secrets. 111. Here's the thing: fuel almost never burns completely. Think about a campfire. When it burns down, you've still got logs left over. That's incomplete combustion. Structure fires are the same way, and the smoke carries particles of fuel that are still ignitable. That's why smoke itself can explode under the right conditions. 136. Let me show you with a simple experiment. Grab a candle, light it, then blow it out. You'll see a trail of smoke rise. If you quickly bring a lighter into that smoke, the smoke itself will ignite and relight the candle. That's because those leftover fuel particles in the smoke can still burn. 157. In other words, smoke is more than just a byproduct. It's a potential fuel source. And that's something every firefighter has to respect. 238. Now, smoke also warns us about extremely dangerous events, like backdrafts and flashovers. A backdraft happens when heat and fuel are trapped inside a structure, but there's little to no oxygen left. The fire is starving, and all it needs is a sudden breath of air to create a violent explosion. 302. So how do we recognize it? Look for heavy, dark, yellow-brown smoke that seems to puff and pull, almost like the building itself is breathing. Windows may rattle or darken with soot. That's the fire begging for oxygen. And if we give it oxygen at the wrong time, say by kicking a door or popping a window low, we can trigger disaster. 332. That's why our tactic is to ventilate high. Let the heat and gases escape above the fire, not at the seat of the fire. If vertical ventilation isn't possible, go as high as you can horizontally. The key is to give that structure a controlled way to breathe. We can show this with another experiment. Take a few matches on a plate, light them, then cover them with a glass. The fire smothers. It still has heat and fuel, but no oxygen. As it struggles, it actually sucks liquid from the plate into the glass. That's a backdraft scenario in miniature: heat plus fuel, starved of oxygen, just waiting for air to... So how exactly do we read smoke? 3 main things: color, volume, and velocity. Color tells us what's burning. Lighter smoke often points to Class A combustibles like wood and paper, while thick, black smoke usually means synthetics, and hydrocarbons are involved. Volume shows us the fire load. A light haze may mean a small contents fire, but heavy, churning smoke means a lot of material is burning. Velocity is the speed. Laminar smoke, thin, slow, barely moving, suggests an early-stage fire. But pressurized smoke, thick and forceful, tells us the fire is creating its own atmosphere and has a ton of energy behind it. 653. Here's a clip of laminar smoke. Light, slow, not much volume. That's early stage, likely Class A contents. Now watch as the smoke darkens, speeds up, and thickens. That's pressurized smoke. The fire has built enough energy to really push gases out. 752. And notice how quickly things change when we ventilate. The smoke loses pressure, slows down, and becomes more laminar. The fire just lost its built-up pressure cooker. 8:15. Take a look at this doorway. That thick, dark upper layer is hot gas riding the ceiling. If we were to hit it wrong, say with a wide fog pattern overhead, we'd push that heat right back down onto us. That's the thermal balance we need to respect. 8:45. Finally, here's heavy, high-velocity smoke pumping hard until the fire self-vents through the gable. Once the fire finds its own release point, the conditions shift instantly. Pressure drops, smoke compresses, and the atmosphere changes completely. 9:19. So here's the takeaway. Smoke is the language of the fire. Learn to read its color, its volume, and its velocity, and you'll understand what the fire is doing, what it's about to do, and how to keep yourself and your crew safe. Thanks for watching. Drop your questions or experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear how you read smoke on the job.